Have I ever done my impression for you? My impression of a gorilla having an orgasm.
Oreo's doing his fucking orgasm gorilla thing again. I'm gonna go out tonight.
Thank you. Welcome to Pigs Pod, episode 25.
What's up, Oreo?
How are you, Q?
That's doing good. You know, I cut you off there, but you know, this is a pretty important episode. You know.
Yeah.
This is like the quarter century podcast.
Quarter of a century. Is this 50?
100.
Okay. Oh, quarter.
100.
I got you. Quarter.
on episode 25, Oreo learns math.
2 plus 2 is a quarter. Okay. 2 plus 5 is a quarter. 25. Quarter of a century.
There we go.
Pigspot episode 25. Guess what? I'm talking about Halo again.
Again.
We have to. There's so much stuff that's been coming out. It's unbelievable. I finally watched all of Nightfall.
Really?
I watched all of 343's The Sprint, which is like the behind the scenes at 343, like inside the studio. It's pretty cool. It's from it's mostly like Quinn Del Hoyo and like the pro team, and mostly about midship. The entire process of how they worked on midship, designing it, testing it, designing it, testing it, designing it, sending it to art, and then all the meetings. It showed like behind the scenes, like art meetings and production meetings, and like play testing. Like it was pretty cool. I don't know. It was all about midship though.
Gotcha.
But we'll get to Nightfall in a second. Now that I finally watched it, I don't think Q's watched it still.
I think I've watched the first half of an episode.
I'll give you a good summary of what happened during it. But besides that, the other hype that they've got going on, just ridiculous. On huntthetruth.tumblr.com. I still don't know why they didn't just make a website. Why they made a Tumblr page.
Have you tried going to huntthetruth.com?
No. Is there a page?
No, I'm just sitting here.
Oh, you're just asking? You're curious?
Yeah. Usually they probably would, but I'm beginning to wonder if it's because somebody else already has the URL.
Maybe they were so stuck on it having to be Hunt the Truth, and they're like, oh shoot, I guess we can do a Tumblr page. People like Tumblr, right?
Yeah, people use Tumblr.
Yeah, sure. There's like, they're like, oh yeah, there's like 20,000 users.
Oh wow, that Oreo, we might be onto something here.
Why? What's Hunt the Truth do?
It's parked.
Parked?
There's nothing on it. Yeah, it's up for nobody owns it.
Nobody owns it.
No,
somebody owns it.
GoDaddy has it right now.
No, somebody owns it. HuntTheTruth.com?
Oh, Hunt the Truth? I went Hunt for Truth.
Oh, what an idiot.
Oh, fuck you.
Hunt the Truth. We'll get to that in a second. HuntTheTruth.com. What's on that?
It redirects to tumblr.com.
Huh. Well, why would you make a Tumblr page, though? There's got to be a reason behind that. Like,
maybe it's just the way they can organize it. I don't know. I don't use Tumblr, so I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't use Tumblr either. I don't know what it does differently. I assume it does something different. I don't know. Anyways, Hunt the Truth. If you haven't been there yet, let's get right into it, because we got some discussion. Have you seen the new trailers that I put up on the Facebook page?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
All right, we're gonna start right with those. I don't know where else to start. So they recently, a couple days ago, depending when you're listening to this, and I assume by now you've seen these videos. If you haven't, I don't know where you've been or what you've been doing. You need to quit touching yourself. Put the D down for a second. Just let go of it and pay attention. So the first one I'm going to play is the first one that 343 put up. The one that they decided to fuck with us. That they decided to confuse us. Okay, and I'll kind of set the scenery. I don't know. I'll play the audio. And if you haven't seen it, you're retarded. You're fat. What did I say the other day? You're fat and eating ice cream and you need to put it down?
Yeah, which was actually pretty funny.
All right, here's the first one. It starts out with Agent Locke walking through a room that's riddled with bullet holes.
The conquering hero. Let us remember him as our protector, and not the one who gave us this. As our savior, and not our betrayer. Let us see him forever as you, and not as you.
I'm going to pause it real quick. Right here, he's looking at a statue of Master Chief, and he says, let's see him as you, the statue, the hero, the savior of the universe. And then he says, and not you. And then he scans down to a Master Chief that's laying on the ground with a bullet hole in his shoulder. And at this point, you're like, what? What? Just listen to what he says.
The conquering hero. The one who was supposed to save us all. But now I must save us. From you.
What? Am I right, Q?
Sure.
Black lady says, what? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, girlfriend. Snap.
Now, are we going to break these down? We're going to break this one down now, or are we going to play the next one and then?
We're going to break this down. Somebody pointed out something that I did not notice. Okay. So again, let's set the scene again, okay? It starts on Agent Locke. He's walking through a room that's riddled with bullet holes, okay? So there was obviously some kind of battle between Agent Locke and Master Chief. And he steps outside, and the world is, like, destroyed. Now, let's stop there. What do you think happened to the world, Q?
This is something Forerunner related.
You think? You don't think it was from the battle between Locke and Master Chief?
No, what I think is going on is there's something Forerunner related going on, and this is, all the while that's going on, Agent Locke is looking for Master Chief. And that's what I think this whole story is for Halo 5, is his Chief is going to be doing his own thing, and dealing with the Forerunners. Meanwhile, Agent Locke is hunting them down as well. So I think that the battle itself was Forerunner related, but I think there is some damage to this room that from a pseudo boss fight between Agent Locke and Master Chief.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'll go into my theory about the way this game is going to be once we do the other video. But I have a theory, and it really ties in with these two videos that I think is what this is going to be like.
I don't know what planet they're on, what moon they could be on, if they're on another ring, which is I don't know, maybe.
Which I mean, it's
that
almost
that if we knew that, that would probably reveal a lot.
I almost feel like the setting of the setting of where they're at is almost irrelevant.
Yeah,
because there's no evidence, there's no tie-ins to anything we've seen thus far to explain where they're at.
Yeah.
The only correlation is this area that they're at that they're on this for this video. You get the feeling that it's almost a desert in a way.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, it's probably the same video. It's probably the same location that Chief was at for the teaser trailer from E3, where with the War Sphinx.
We do know that it's not a Covenant location because there was a statue of Master Chief there. And obviously they would not have a I mean, I don't think they would have a statue of him.
No. And given the amount of devastation, this could even, and given the kind of like dirty desert grainy feel that this video gives, it really reminds me a lot of Lone Wolf from Reach. So
yeah, could be
returning to his roots. That's where Cortana came from.
All right. Well, I'm going to point out right now, and if you haven't seen this, go watch it and watch for this. Something that I didn't notice. It's a minute detail, and 343 has tweeted and Facebooked over and over again, watch everything, check every detail. And so somebody, I don't know, with better glasses than I have apparently, noticed, Q, that Locke is holding a DMR, okay? And now on his HUD is a BR. Why? There's no way 343 would mess that up, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Like now I'm having to go back.
He's holding a DMR. You can clearly see it. We're going to have to go watch this live.
Yeah, I'm watching this live right now to see what this...
I'll watch it with you. All
right. So he steps out into an area. He's
mute
carrying...
it if I can.
Still waiting.
Yeah, so he's stepping through the room.
Yeah, I'm a little ahead of you. He's doing his all hail speech. I have the sound turned down. I mean, I don't care about the sound.
Yeah, I have my
definitely
sound
notice
off.
he's wearing a form of...
Okay, can you see if he's carrying a DMR yet? Okay, there. You see the front. You see the front. It sure looked like a DMR.
I don't think it is. I think it's a BR.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
Clearly, the symbol in his HUD is a BR.
Yeah, his HUD is a BR. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, he just dropped it. It sure does look like a DMR though, because a BR has that little hook thing. See, now we're just picking at the details, but you never know if like they. Yeah,
I don't think
definitely a DMR, dude. Look at the little, because it has the little handle thing, the barrel is separated from the top handle, but his gun doesn't. It could just be a prop detail that they missed, which is pretty sad if they're paying this much close attention to details and somehow somebody missed that.
But I think what we need to do, looking at his armor now, we need to go back and look at what type of armor that is.
I've seen online that people have remade that armor. That looks
really, really specific.
Yeah, people have remade it exactly in Halo 4. You can make Agent Locke exactly using Halo 4 armor.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was getting ready to say. Is I've seen that armor in Halo 4. I just would like to know the name of it.
I'd have to look
because
it up.
that would go a long way in telling us what this story is. I mean, it really honestly depends on how close details they're going to do for this.
See if we go frame by frame. It's hard to tell.
I don't think that there's.
Oh wait, no, that's a BR he's holding.
Yeah,
you can see the handle. If you go frame by frame, the light catches it in such a way that you can see that there's a handle.
Yeah, that's when he drops it, you can see there's a handle.
Yeah,
like there for like a single frame, you can definitely tell that's a BR. I mean, like I said, that's
when he drops it, it looks like a DMR again.
Or a 343 would miss.
Drops it, it looks like a DMR again.
I don't think that's anything of any importance.
I don't think so either. I think that's one of them little minute things that somebody picked out, noticed. I don't think it means anything. So let's play the next trailer though. The one. So they played this. Well, they didn't play it. They uploaded it online and sent it out to everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, everything. And this was while Walking Dead finale was on. And then right after the Walking Dead finale, oh what a fag! Look at this guy. Right after the Walking Dead finale, with millions of viewers, Q.
And I wasn't one of them if you couldn't tell.
They played this, which is like, it was like 10 minutes after they played the Locke one with Master Chief laying on the ground, wounded, can't move, and you're like, what the fuck? And then they play this, the Master Chief side of the story.
This. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you were looking for? Was everything you've compromised, everything you've done, worth it? Was it? You've completed your mission, Spartan Locke.
Okay. So it's the same exact scene from before, but flipped. Agent Locke is wounded on the ground, and Master Chief is the one victorious. Thoughts, Q.
There is two words that when put together in this video that tells probably the biggest picture.
I'm horny.
No, you ready?
Oh, okay.
Spartan Locke.
I was going to say that too. I was going to say everywhere they've been calling him Agent Locke, but Master Chief, the Spartan, identifies Locke as a Spartan.
Right, identifies him as a Spartan. But what really gets me, like the part that really just kind of throws me for a loop, and the Locke side, the Locke video. I mean, it tells a story, but I think that where Locke's story tells a story, Chief's video tells a novel. There's a lot of things, a lot of nuances in this video. Scream that there's so much more to what's going on. First and foremost, he calls him Spartan Locke. That's really strange when everybody refers to Master Chief as his rank. You know, regardless of how you know Master Chief, you know him as Spartan or Master Chief, or you know him as Chief or whatever. You don't think it was a Spartan John.
Yeah.
You know, or Spartan 117.
So what are you saying? Locke leveled up from agent to Spartan?
No, I don't. No, what gets me is the fact that Locke doesn't have a rank. You know, he's not referring to Locke as Lieutenant Locke or Captain Locke or whatever. You know, whatever rank that Locke has, he doesn't have a rank. He's referred to singularly as Spartan Locke.
So Locke's killed some Covenant and he's leveled up. I'm just messing.
Yeah, I mean, it goes that part right there alone.
It could be nothing about. It could just be Master Chief acknowledging him as, all right, you deserve the title of Spartan, but you're getting in my way, bro. Like he says at the first of the, well, not at the first, but in the first 20 seconds, he says, you know, I forget the exact wording. We just listened to it. He says,
right.
Like,
he's essentially saying, like, you know, is this what you wanted? You know, for it to come down between, you know, essentially what he's saying is, you know, it's come down to me versus you, and I win. And is this what you really wanted? Is this what you were trying to accomplish? Look what all you fucked up.
Yeah, you followed orders. You fucked me up. What I was trying to do, you kept worrying about me, trying to stop me, and now it's come to this.
Yeah, and I mean the imagery of this Spartan laying at the feet of Master Chief's statue, and all this ruin, all this rubble, all this destruction, and it's like, is this what you wanted? And you almost get this impression that, you know, where in the Master Chief video where Chief is laying there, you could see that the rise and the fall of a great hero, this amazing statue made in the honor of Master Chief, and here's Master Chief lying prone with a bullet wound, you know, and that tells a story. And the imagery of this here, of the greatness of Master Chief, you know, this grand statue that was erected in the name of Master Chief Petty Officer John 117, and here is this Spartan laying at its feet. You know, that there's a lot of symbolism there. You know, so the first part is definitely the fact that John is not referring to Locke with anything other than Spartan. You know, that would, you know, I think where you're saying is, you know, you feel like this is this is almost like an acknowledgement of how good Locke is, like how much of a competitor, how much of an equal John considers Locke to be.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, if you were to sit down right now and Chief would walk in through the door, would you look at him and say, Spartan John?
Let me blow you.
Like, right, exactly. I think what he's doing, I think he's insulting Locke. You know, he's just a Spartan. You know, how you refer to me as Master Chief, you know, and you are an Oni special agent or whatever Locke really is, we don't really know yet.
Yeah.
You know, whatever he is, John's not even acknowledging that and saying you're just a Spartan. That's no different than, you know, oh, you're just a soldier. You know, you're not a captain.
That would have been an insult if he called him Soldier Locke.
Yeah. But I mean that's essentially what I feel like he's
calling him a Spartan, you know,
just,
I guess it could be, but I think Spartan's up there.
Spartan is up there. I mean, you know, that would be the equivalent of, you know, calling somebody, you know, like a Ranger or whatever, you know, for, you know,
petty officer,
Delta Force, yeah, whatever.
Petty officer.
But I think that this goes a little bit more of an insult because, you know, we all know him as Agent Locke, and he's not even willing to acknowledge the fact that he's some double agent 007 Locke, whatever. He's just a fucking Spartan.
Locke.
I think that's so huge. I think that's a really big story that has to be told right there. And
I think I never picked that out. I heard him say Spartan, but I never thought that there was intent behind the word.
I think everything in that video, I think that's like the number one thing you should really take out of that video.
Every
is
word.
The fact that just one single word, Spartan. Yeah. He refers to him as a Spartan and not whatever his rank is.
Well, the other parts too kind of lead you to what's going to happen in Halo 5, where he's saying, again, I forget it. I guess we could play it again real quick, but how he's saying, I want to play it again real quick, Q, because I can't remember the wording he said.
Go ahead. We just play to the wording. We'll talk about it.
Is this what you wanted? Is this what you were looking for? Was everything you've compromised, everything you've done, worth it?
He says compromise. That's the word. I was lost. He's saying you compromised my mission, looking for trying to accomplish your stupid mission that Oni gave you. Was it worth it? Was it worth stopping me, the savior of the universe, Master Chief, from accomplishing what I'm doing? Compromising me. I'm fucking John, bitch. He wanted to say that. I could tell that. I could hear it in his voice. He wanted to say, I'm fucking Master Chief, bitch.
Well, I think it goes just a little bit deeper than that. I think that...
Then I'm Master Chief, bitch?
Yeah. The statement that he makes that, all that you've... is this what you've wanted? And I get the impression that John doesn't want to fight Locke by the way he says this.
Like he's trying to avoid it. I'm just trying to do my shit. Why are you up in my business, son?
I think that like I've said all along, Halo 5 is going to be about John recovering Cortana. Like nothing else matters now.
Yeah.
She was his humanity.
Yeah.
And that's been taken away from him, and that's the only thing that matters to him. That's the only person that he cared about was Cortana, and now she's gone.
Yeah, Cortana, my bottom bitch, son. Why you up in my business? I'm trying to get my bottom bitch. I'm trying to get my dick sucked artificially, son.
Yeah, well, no, that's in a weird sense, not quite like that, but yeah.
Ghetto 5.
Ghetto 5, just a little bit. And I think that that's what he's doing. Is I think that he's just concerned about getting Cortana back. Meanwhile, Agent Locke is literally in a shit the whole time, and finally there's this situation where Chief just snaps and beats the dog shit out of him. And at the end, it's like, is this what you wanted?
Yeah.
You have been portraying me as the bad guy. You have been allowing Oni and the UNSC to make me out as a traitor, a deserter. This nothing that's completely left and has nothing that they want to do with the UNSC, and make me look like this absolute fucking monster. Is this what you wanted? You wanted me to break bad, you wanted me to snap, and you wanted me to fuck you up, so you have a reason to justify why I should be defeated, why I should be killed, why I should be taken out of the UNSC. Is this what you wanted? Because you fucking got it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the impression that I get. And that's like, basically, if I was rewording this and putting it, in almost like a Spark Notes version of what just happened, be like, you've made me out to be this monster. You've hounded me and you've hounded me and you've hounded me to make me out to be this traitor, and I'm just not putting up with your shit anymore. Is that what you wanted? Did you want me to break bad and fucking fuck you up?
Yeah.
So you now have a reason to to justify what you've done.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those situations where it's like it's a real weird parallel from what this is totally interpretation from the way I look at it. Is Locke goaded Chief into a fight.
Yeah.
Chief didn't want to fight Locke, and Chief finally does. And now he's saying, "Is this what you wanted?" The ends justify the means.
Yeah.
And if you come back and look at that overarching theme of the ends justify the means, that's totally Dr. Halsey. Now, her whole creation of the Spartan program and everything that she did to the Spartans as children, was justified by the ends of saving humanity. And it's like that's an overarching theme that I think we're going to see in Halo 5.
Yeah. For those of you lost here, I'll ghetto-fy it for you. Son's playing basketball. He's playing basketball. Son, get up off me, son. Get up off me, son. Get up off me. Why you up? And Locke's like, come on, bro. I'm just trying to play basketball. Get up off me. Did you just fucking elbow me? Master Chief's getting a little pissed. Dude, I'm not gonna fight. I'm fucking here to play basketball. And Locke's like, come on, bro. What are you saying? Those are fighting words. Why you say fighting? Why you want to fight? You want to fight, bro? Master Chief's like, no, I don't want to fight, bro. I'm here to play basketball. And he bounces the ball a couple times, and Locke fucking knocks it out of his hand. What the fuck, bro? Whoa. You want to throw down, bro? You want to throw down? And then fucking Locke steps on the fucking Nikes. And that's it. That's the point.
That'll do it.
Chief goes, is this what you wanted? Is this, you compromised my fucking sneaks, bro? My fucking kicks? You stepped on them?
Kicks.
They're dirty. You fucking, is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted it to come to? And he takes out his fucking pistol and, pow, you know.
Glack, glack, glack.
Glack. Ghetto-fied.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's as absolutely racist, and the number of letters that we're going to get in the email from that.
So you think Locke Locke purposely stepped on his sneakers trying to get Chief to react? Because Locke respects Chief as the Chief, and he doesn't want to do what he's going to do, so he has to force Chief into a situation that then justifies what Locke is doing. Because if you watch Nightfall at all, Locke is a humble person. He never wants to do anything that's the wrong, even if that's what the mission is about. Now, this is where I'm torn. For the whole time, I've always thought Locke was actually going to join the Chief. And now I don't know where to go because of these 2 new trailers they've released. I thought he was going to join the Chief because he's a humble, nice person. He wants to the mission, but not at the cost of people's lives, especially those that are innocent. So, I don't know. You think maybe he's, like, egging on Master Chief, trying to get him to do something to where it's okay what I'm about to do, like for himself, to come to terms with it in his own mind.
I haven't watched the Nightfall yet, so I don't know.
So you don't know what kind of person Locke is?
No.
All right, let's talk about Nightfall for 1 second.
Okay,
all the trailers and shit, it's an element, the 5th element. It's an unknown element that targets humans. It's like police targeting black people, but it's an element. Yeah, we're definitely getting letters.
Multipass.
Multipass.
Chicken.
It's an element. So the whole trailers, all the shit leading up to Nightfall, they make you think, oh, it's gonna fill in some story. What's going on between Halo 4, Halo 5? Oh, what's this new element? Oh my god, dude, fucking so excited! Like, and then Nightfall starts, and the first episode is exactly that. Oh, what's this new element? Oh, it's on this piece of Halo that's broken off and is in the middle of space. Oh, what are they doing? They're trying to smuggle in this element, and they brought it to this city on Cedra, and they fucking released it, and it killed a bunch of people, and then a bunch of people died. Now we gotta cooperate with the Cedra, and nobody likes us because we're Oni, and everyone hates the military and the government, what they're doing, and they fucking blame ONSC for everything in the entire universe. For all the problems, they blame ONSC. But, okay, that's the first episode. Everything you got out of the trailer, everything you thought Nightfall was gonna be, and I think this is why a lot of people fell off, is because that's the entire first episode, and you're like, okay. And it didn't have a leading end to it that's like, oh my god, I gotta watch the next episode. But if you watch the next episode, when they go searching on this lost piece of the Halo that Master Chief had blown up in the Halo campaigns, there's a floating piece of the Halo in the universe that somehow has this element, and somehow they have the computing technology of the Oni does, that they can be like, computer, search for element, and it goes, no matches found except on this one fragment of Halo. So somehow, in the entire universe, this one element that targets and kills humans is only on this little piece of the Halo ring, and their Covenant is hiring poor people to do the dirty work. It's blood diamonds, basically. They're hiring poor people that can't get any other job to go out to this. I'm giving you a huge summary of Nightfall, so if you still want to watch it, you should probably go watch it, because I'm going to ruin all the shit for you right now. So they hire poor people from poor colonies and stuff that have nothing to go to the planet, and then this is when it starts getting cool. You go to the planet, and there's these new monsters that I've never seen in the Halo universe. I don't know if they're in the books. I haven't read enough of the books, but they're basically these little worms that they call hunter worms that are, for some reason, on the ring, they're attracted to technology. So anytime...
I'll stop you right there. Are you aware of what the hunters are made up of? Like actual hunter-killers of the Covenant?
Are they made up of the hunter worms?
Do you remember in Forward Until Dawn?
Yeah.
When he blows up the hunter with the frag grenade, with the sticky grenade, or whatever grenade he used, and it was all those worms? Yeah. They're... What it is it's made up of hundreds of thousands of, like a giant colony of worms is what makes up the hunter.
See, I didn't know that. I thought I've never... Okay, well, there you go. There's some stuff that they don't explain in Nightfall. There's these hunter worms that they do have them in Nightfall, like morph into different shapes. They turn into horses. They turn into different stuff. They try to trick them at one point, and they look like a human. But anyways, the hunter... For some reason, only on this ring, they're attracted to technology. And everyone's like, that's weird. Hunter worms aren't normally attracted to technology. They just, they go off of like sound and heat and whatever,
I think it's in Contact Harvest.
Yeah.
The worms are used to bore out technology of the Forerunner on a Covenant world.
Well, maybe they are.
I'm
nobody's noticed.
Paraphrasing.
Maybe nobody's noticed before this that they're attracted.
Well, it might not
technology.
be something that they know either.
So it starts getting good. All the Spartans, Oni, everybody has to, remove their armor, their technology, all that shit, so that they don't get found by the worms. And then they start trying to find the compound, all this. So blah blah blah, whatever. Shit starts going down where they're all running out of oxygen because there's hardly any oxygen. There's something like 0.3% or some shit. You can't survive on the ring without your technology. So they take rebreathers around with them, and they have to turn them on every now and then to take a breath, and the worms find them. Blah blah blah, whatever. So this is where Nightfall kind of gets to what I realized was their point the entire time. Nightfall was nothing about the story. It was nothing about this element. It was nothing about everything they tried to trick you with in the trailers and everything. Now, I'm not saying Nightfall is bad. It was pretty good. It had great visuals, and especially what it accomplishes in the end. But anyways, it had nothing to do with the story, and that's why it's disappointing. But now seeing what's going on with Locke and Master Chief, it makes more sense, because the entire point of Nightfall is as stuff is falling apart on the ring, everyone's starting to die from the worms, and they're starting to throw each other under the bus, literally at the worms. They're throwing each other at the worms. They're shooting each other. They're killing each other off to try and use what remaining oxygen they have to survive. And this is where you get to see what a person Locke is, how he's humble, how, he didn't come up with the idea. It was another guy that actually used to be in the Spartan program, said, what, we should draw straws and make it completely fair for everybody. Who's going to be the two that survive? Apparently only two people can survive. And Locke says yes. And Locke is trying to hold everyone together. Everyone else keeps freaking out, trying to kill each other. And Locke throws people to the ground and goes, you can't fucking do that. You don't play God. You let the straws decide. We're not here to go out like that. I'm a fucking humble, badass motherfucker, and I'm going to take on the Chief in Halo 5. He didn't say that, but basically that's what Nightfall is introducing you to Locke, trying to get you interested in him, interested in his backstory, to understand that, he's a good guy. He basically tried to sacrifice himself. But of course, he was one of the two that got off the planet, blah, 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 but...
There's nothing to say that Locke doesn't believe in his mission.
Yeah.
That Locke truly could believe that he is in the right and Chief is in the wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen, is whatever the situation is, I think that Locke is truly going to believe that what he is doing is noble and what he's doing is good, whether it's good or not. and on the flip side too, Chief thinks that the only thing he can do is go and save Cortana because that's his friend, that's his everything is Cortana. So he's going to be doing everything he can to save her because that's what he believes is right. It doesn't matter that he's abandoned his post. That doesn't matter to him. Just as what Locke is doing is he's going after what he would believe is a traitor, where in all actuality Chief is beginning to buck the system that created the sociopath that is Master Chief Petty Officer John 117.
Yeah.
Because even Halsey said during the interrogation in the beginning of Halo 4 that they understand that Spartans fall apart because of their mental and their psychological training, and that at his core he is broken, and that's something that's really, really important to emphasize. Is at John's core, he is a broken man.
Yeah, I think that's what 343 is trying to emphasize. At the same time, they're trying to emphasize that Locke is a good guy. I mean, Bonnie Ross has already said that there are future Halos planned without Master Chief. So I think all this that they're doing, I know it's going to break people's hearts, but I think it's in preparation to kill off Master Chief somehow. They're trying to introduce you to Locke. He's a good guy, and he's a badass, just like your old Chief used to be. Chief is done. He's getting old. It's time for him to retire or die. He's going crazy. He's going off mission. He's ignoring orders. He's, causing destruction, as Locke points out in the ad we played at the beginning of the episode. This is what you've caused. Look what you've done. You used to be the hero, and now you've done this.
Well, I have a theory when it comes to with the future of John. I think he is going to be assimilated into the Forerunner. I think that he's going to become part of the programming for the Forerunner Society, and he's finally going to be able to be reunited with Cortana.
So he'll still be around, but he'll be.
I don't even think he'll necessarily be around. I think that it's just like, okay,
he'll just be absorbed by Forerunner technology or something.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as kind of like at the end of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, where Bilbo goes to the Grey Havens with the elves. Like, we know Bilbo doesn't die. We know that he goes to the Grey Havens to live forever with the elves, and that's kind of it's a strange analogy, but I think that's the best analogy. Is that Chief is going to be assimilated Forerunners, and the Forerunners are going to there's something is going to happen with the Forerunners, because we already know that there's a division happening within the Forerunners. There's a number of Forerunners that side with the Librarian. There's a number of Forerunners that side with the Didac, and I think that the side of Forerunners that side with the Librarian, I think that's where the Chief is going to go. And as a reward for all he's done for saving the Forerunners and helping humanity, is the Librarian is going to show him the key to being able to be with Cortana indefinitely. And that's going to be kind of the end of Chief, and then Locke is going to step in.
Oh,
that's kind of the way I feel about it.
I'm pretty sure that our theory's right, that Chief is only focused on Cortana, which seems silly that's his big mission now, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
I mean, this is somebody that he's been with for going on a decade. Why wouldn't it be? It's all he's known. He's finally gotten to the point where he understands his lot in life. And the only person that he has that can make the journey of life together ends up fucking falling apart into literally hundreds of different split personalities, going batshit crazy and dying or disappearing or whatever. I mean, that's the only person that he cares about, and that's because that's the only person that's truly cared about him.
Yeah.
And the books make it as a mother figure. The video games make it as almost almost like a sexual relationship in a way. He doesn't have her bent over the table or anything.
Yeah.
But it's almost, it's a loving relationship. And it doesn't matter whether it's a maternal or a marital relationship.
Maybe
it really
it's
doesn't
both.
matter.
Maybe Chief's
or it
into
could be
kinky
both.
shit.
Maybe he's into some incest shit. Whatever. But either way, that's the only person that's cared about him, and that's the only person that he's cared about. So that's going to be his only mission, is saving Cortana, because there's a line that she said in Halo 3, don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
Yeah.
And that stuck with him from Halo 3 to Halo 4. How many other major or how many lines, period, how many lines of dialogue that has been said from Halo 3 to Halo 4 or Halo 1 to Halo 2 or whatever that's carried throughout the series. There really hasn't been any. But from Halo 3 and in Halo 4, there's that dialogue of don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
Yeah.
And he's not going to break that promise. He's going to resurrect Cortana in one way or another, or he's going to be reunited with Cortana one way or another.
Yeah.
That's all he cares about.
I'm pretty
and Locke
sure.
doesn't understand that. The UNSC and Oni don't understand that either.
No. Well, they probably don't even know that's what he's doing. They're like, what the fuck is he doing?
If anybody would know what he's doing, it would be Halsey. And that's it.
Yeah. I know Halsey's going to have some kind of big role in Halo 5. Whether she's the one that tries to talk sense into Locke, or she's the one that sends Locke, or I know she's going to be there and have some kind of big role.
I think that she has nothing to do with Locke going. I still honestly feel like in Halo 4, the person interrogating Dr. Halsey is either Locke or Locke's superior.
I'm thinking it's neither. I'm thinking this is just a theory I came up with the other day. I haven't really thought it out and sat down and looked at it. But I'm thinking it's actually this new reporter guy that we've just been introduced to. Benjamin Goodrow.
I don't think it is, because...
You don't think so? I'd have to go watch the interview
we'd have to watch.
We'd
have to watch the video again, because I definitely get the feeling that she's not being interviewed by a reporter. She's being interrogated. And
I don't think it's Locke, though. I used to, but I don't think it is.
Like I said, it may not be Locke.
I think it's someone that has to do with Oni, whether it's Benjamin who's reporting for Oni, or somebody high up in Oni, like you said.
I think it's somebody high up in Oni that has direct control over Locke.
That's accusing her of maybe, what's going on, what do you know?
Yeah. And that's the precursor to going after John.
Well, in a future episode, we'll have to go over that audio.
Okay.
We'll cover Halo again. If you can't tell, we're a little Halo heavy here on Pig's
Yeah,
Pod.
we're going to be a little Halo heavy for probably up through June.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to be Halo heavy breathing.
Yeah, baby. Tell me about that Halo. Fire that ring. Fire that ring all over my face. Do it now, baby. Do it now. So there you go.
Cortana. People are on radio. Save that for later.
So there you go.
Oh, all right. Well, have you heard the new clip from Benjamin Goodrow?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I was sitting on it, waiting on to have it on the episode, so I can you can get my initial reactions.
Okay. So. Well, the reaction is at the end of the episode, and it's 12 minutes long. So I'm thinking what we'll do, instead of just sit here silent for 12 minutes.
Okay.
Let's play it, and I'll occasionally stop it, and we'll discuss what we're thinking is going on. Because they didn't release just a 12-minute bullshit episode. There's hidden facts. There's hidden little gems in here. Like they've said over and over again, comb through the... like Spaceballs. You got to comb through the desert. Whether you're using a pick or a full-size comb, you got to comb the desert for the details.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's hear it.
You gave me that face like you don't know what Spaceballs is.
No, I know what Spaceballs is. I'm just thinking it's a horrible analogy.
Okay. Fuck you. Bum bum.
There's a story you tell yourself when the world blows up in your face. There's no way you could have seen it coming. No one could have, so there was no way to stop it. This is what lets you sleep at night. But go back in your mind to before it all happened. Replay it in your head, except this time, maybe you'll see it. Something small, out of place. Maybe it's just a single thread, but it's the truth. Nobody saw it coming when they arrived. An alien race known as the Covenant. Before 2552, there was no way anything like that could ever happen on Earth. On one of those distant planets in the outer colonies? Maybe. But an attack on Earth? Couldn't happen. Until it did. It's called glassing. Covenant warships rain plasma down on a planet until everything and everyone on the surface melts. Usually it's complete world destruction. Earth only got a taste. The prolonged orbital bombardment destroyed East Africa, killing millions before it ended. None of us were safe anymore. But something else happened that day too. Or someone. You've heard the eyewitness accounts. Every skeptic has seen the footage. I was there, and yet still to this day, it's unbelievable.
So, what? I just want to stop. He was there? I want to know why he was there.
Let's back up just a little bit further first. This is what this is referring to. This is the events of Halo 2 and Halo 3.
Yeah.
You know, in case anybody is missing the correlation. So what he's saying is he was somewhere around New Mombasa. Not New Mombasa. That's all fucking Reach.
No, it's New Mombasa. Because he talks about New Mombasa here in a second.
Okay, so maybe they did. Yeah, maybe. Okay, that's right, because that was referenced, and that's where they were for ODST.
Yeah, if you remember in the game, it's where you go all the white buildings that look like Navajo buildings.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Inside the city, where you first meet hunters. I think that's where you first meet hunters.
Yeah,
which are apparently made of hunter worms, which nobody told me.
Yeah, it's Contact Harvest, but yeah. So this is the events of Halo 2, 3, and ODST. And he's saying that he was there. Now, I mean, we know that there was a large majority of people evacuated from East Africa. We do know that.
Yeah. He talks about that in a second, too.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's kind of a stretch to say that he was there.
Yeah, I'm wondering why he was there.
Well, it could mean one of two things. It could mean, number one, that he was just a journalist that was there covering the events, or two, he was working for ONI.
Maybe.
So, or the UNSC as a whole. So, go ahead and continue it. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
A massive man in green armor appeared seemingly out of nowhere in New Mombasa, performed superhuman feats to single-handedly repel a global invasion, and then disappeared? This was the Master Chief. The Unified Earth Government's military body, the UNSC, eventually released a statement. Who he is, where he came from, and that he's continuing to keep us safe. And that was that. But who is the Master Chief? Where did he come from? Is he continuing to keep us safe? I'm Benjamin Giroux, and this is Hunt the Truth. For all us cosmopolitan Earth types who don't venture into the far reaches of space, there's a planet way out in the outer colonies called Eridanus II. If you're thinking of visiting, don't bother. It was catastrophically glassed in a Covenant attack in 2530. But 19 years before it got wiped out, our hero, Master Chief Petty Officer John 117, then known as John, was born in a metropolis called Elysium City. That's where I started.
Do I remember him? Oh, yeah, you don't forget a kid like that.
That's Dion Govender. He chatted with me from his home in the outer colonies. Dion's retired now, but years ago he taught John at Elysium City Primary Education Facility number 119. Apparently schools in the outer colonies don't have the catchiest names.
John was something else. He was sharp and quick, always evaluating the situation. Mm-hmm. Other kids just gravitated to him, you know.
Dion.
Okay, so I think we definitely need to make a stop right here, because this tells me right now that they're going to start making a branch away from the original lore. The original lore of the Spartans, where they were abducted, a flash clone was left in place, and the clone comes down with some disease, some ailment, some sickness, and the clone dies to kind of sever all connections between the Spartan that the child becomes and the child that still exists with the parents.
Yeah. Okay. See, you're getting ahead of it. You know more than most people that are going to be listening to this. So they're laying it out as like a mystery, and you'll see what happens at the end of this episode, but they're not going away from the original lore. You'll see why, and you'll see why it makes sense. We'll talk about it. This guy that he's talking to, he was basically John's PE teacher, I think, and he was like his wrestling coach or something. So then they start talking about John when he was a young kid, which, like you were saying, if you follow the lore at all, Spartans were taken when they were 6 years old, I think.
Anywhere between.
Oh, I guess they had some that were older though, huh?
Yeah,
John himself was taken when he was 6. Yeah.
So, but see, the other thing too that another reason why I wanted to point this out is shifting from the original lore was they never released this information about the Spartan. Like, you weren't supposed to know.
Yeah, nobody knew. Not even his family. They didn't tell a single person. Even his mom and dad thought, "Oh, this is still our kid." And this is one of the reasons I've always hated Halsey, because she fucking took kids when they were 6 and tricked their parents and gave them a clone. And the clones, like you said, I'm not going to be able to say that. Died off really soon because they got diseases. They're clones, but we'll get there.
Okay, go ahead.
Seemed most excited to talk about John's athletic ability. The kids used to play King of the Hill after school. You know, the old game where you wrestle and push each other to try to be the last man standing.
I would walk by sometimes, see him playing after school, and without fail, I swear, it was always John standing alone at the top of that hill.
Right.
Every single day. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think the other kids ended up fighting for who got to be king halfway up the hill because nobody was messing with John.
I definitely remember John. You're going way...
That's Ellie Bloom, another lifelong resident of the Outer Colonies. When she was young, she and John lived on the same street, just a few houses down.
Well, he was a little younger than me, but let me tell you, that boy did not look like a kindergartner. He was a big kid. My friend Katrina and I used to meet him in this vacant lot in the neighborhood. The three of us would build these obstacle courses out of random junk and then race. Just kid stuff.
As Ellie talked about her early years in Elysium, it wasn't long before she was getting nostalgic.
On warm nights, sometimes our parents would let us go out to the green space and lie in the grass. And we'd just lie there, stare up at the stars. It was a nice place to grow up.
Finding Ellie was a huge win for me. When a planet's been glassed, tracking down former residents can be damn near impossible. Any records kept locally, paper, hardened data storage, even human memories, after a full-scale glassing, they're just gone. Thankfully, though, the Office of Naval Intelligence, or ONI, had furnished me with a list of interviewees. That's how I'd gotten Dion. But I wanted to go the extra mile with this story, so I'd hit up some of my old connections in the Outer Colonies looking for more sources. Ellie was my only hit so far.
Did you keep in touch with John?
No, I wasn't allowed to use Waypoint much when I was little. But I did keep in touch with Katrina. We still talk, actually. She probably remembers John. I'm going to tell her I talked to you. Wait, what was this for again? It's a military thing?
Oh, no. John is the Master Chief.
What?
Yeah. John became the Master Chief.
Like the Master Chief.
Yep.
Oh my God, no.
So like he was saying, nobody knew anything about him being a Spartan or anything. Well, but the thing that confuses me here is how he just out and says that. Isn't that supposed to be kept secret?
Well, I guess what gets me is the response that she's giving is like, "Oh my God, no way, that's totally amazing, dude."
I thought about blowing him, but I didn't.
Yeah, the response was the response that I'm still sitting here this is the response that's supposed to be given is, didn't he die when he was 7?
No, he didn't die. They'll get to that in a second.
But that would be the response that I would give, unless there's something in the story that I don't know yet.
We're getting there.
But okay, so that
he didn't die when he was 7. They go back to his PE teacher here in a second, and he kind of talks about what happened to John when he was 13. Okay. I'll save it for those that haven't listened to this yet.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're smarter than the average listener, so you're ahead of what's going on. Everyone else is trying to catch up.
Okay.
No way, are you serious?
I'm not kidding you.
My God. That's crazy.
Ellie lost her mind for a few minutes. I guess it's not every day you find out that your childhood playmate saved the galaxy.
Oh my God, now I'm definitely telling Katrina. She is going to freak out.
All right, so maybe Ellie wasn't going to be much help. I needed more of the young warrior angle. Here's Dion again.
The boxing story.
No. What's that?
Okay. So
not yet.
I taught the primary kids, right? But I also ran this boxing league at the high school.
Uh-huh.
Second week, we're doing drills in the gym. John walks in. Now, mind you, John is in 6th grade at the time. I say, "Hey, John, what's up?" He says, "I want to sign up for boxing." And I say, "John, you're 12. What are you talking about?"
But John was adamant.
But I look at him and he ain't leaving.
Right.
So I said, "Okay, what the hell? Figure let it be a formative lesson for the kid." I don't know what it. So I put him in the ring with one of the smaller guys. John pummeled this boy. It was over in about 15 seconds. Okay. So, all right. Well, I put him in with this bruiser. Now, a real good fighter.
Yeah.
Okay? Good fighter. 2 punches. John laid him out. 12 years old.
I liked talking to Dion. He was warm and funny in that grandfatherly memory lane kind of way. I realized I'd gotten lost in it all when the narrative took a dark turn.
But then, one week, I just didn't show up.
Here it is, Q. This is the part, I'm going to stop it right here and point it out, because I missed it the first time I listened to this. I've listened to this like 5 times by He says John didn't show up, and this is about when John was, I think, 12 or 13. John just quit showing up. And see, nobody, he's going to get to it here in a second, nobody knows where or what happened to John. And then later on, they just started hearing, you know, I don't know, from his parents or from somebody that, oh yeah, you know, John. No one ever knew that he died because some shit went down. This guy's going to get to it here in a second, but it was kind of good timing for Oni and them to make the clone, which if you haven't caught on, that's who was the boxing kid, was the clone. It was not John. Kind of make the clone disappear before the clone died, because they die really early on. So, yeah. This is why nobody knew that John died, or why that girl, oh my god, didn't comment on it.
It was 25-24. John was 13. That's when the nightmare of the insurrection that had been plaguing the outer colonies finally landed on John's community. Under pressure from UNSC troops, the rebels were on their last leg, desperately seizing territory in the region and launching paranoid inquisitions to find spies. Civilian abductions and interrogations became commonplace.
They would just, question you. Just these meaningless questions for hours and hours.
Thomas Wu was living on a neighboring colony when the rebels showed up and hit hard, sweeping up Thomas and thousands of others in raids. What followed was months of horribly overcrowded detainment, neglect, and often constant questioning.
Did you know this guy? What are the encryption codes for this system, that system? And you have no idea what they're even asking you.
In the final couple months, Thomas says his captors started coming unhinged. And then toward the end, they just disappeared, leaving Thomas and hundreds of others locked up, starving. I don't want to play this part of the interview, but I'll tell you, it got bad. He talks about being packed in like sardines, warm bodies, cold bodies, people dying in the dark, the smell. He doesn't know how long it lasted, maybe weeks. But Thomas and many others survived. They made it out.
Well, we helped each other. We looked out for each other. And I mean that was the only way. We made it through to the liberation, and then we left. We never looked back.
When I asked him where the survivors relocated to, Thomas began to list off which cities were safe for refugees at the time. Decades later, he can still recite them all from memory. I asked about John's hometown.
Perth City.
What about Elysium City?
No. Insurrectionist cesspool. Yeah, no, they got it bad there.
Dion Govender confirms this.
In Elysium City, people just disappeared back then. Just happened.
So do you know anything about this event, John?
No, this is all relative. This is all new information, at least to me. I mean, I'm only, after Contact Harvest, and then I forget the name of the one that comes after that. Things start to kind of go in a different direction, rather than, it's almost like they beat the dead horse of the history. The stories of the stories of the insurrectionists. I mean, that's why the Spartans were created in the very beginning, was the insurrectionists. They wanted, the outer colonies, the outer planets of the UNSC, the ones that were furthest from the center of power, were wanting to rebel because it wasn't quite exactly taxation without representation, but it really wasn't that far off from that they felt that their needs weren't being met. And their demands weren't being met, because one of the best examples I can use is from Contact Harvest, which is on the planet Harvest. The planet was named Harvest simply because what they did was they raised food, grains, and livestock to be sent back into the inner colonies like Earth and the other ones.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people living there were like, "This is bullshit. All you're concerned about is the inner colonies. You don't really give two shits about what we need and our needs and what we feel like we deserve as being a part of the UNSC." So there's a lot of very upset people with this, and there's a lot of dissidents. And I I've not heard anything specific of Elysium City, being overrun with the insurrectionists. I'm not surprised, especially when you compare the stories from Harvest to the stories from Reach, and compare it with the stories of like Forward Until Dawn. Even there, it was already well known that the insurrectionists were kind of spreading throughout the majority of the hierarchy of the UNSC, and everybody knows what in the 26th century, in the 2500s, it's not, being called an innie is the equivalent of being a communist in the 20th century.
Yeah.
So I've not heard anything about this specific event of Elysium City being overrun, but I'm not surprised to hear that this is going on.
Yeah. So is this?
I know it's kind of long-winded, but
is this just filler story, or is 343 just trying to be like, oh, see, more than just the Covenant shit's going on? There's some other stuff.
Well, I definitely feel like this is some filler story and kind of filling in some gaps, but definitely, UNSC kind of underscoring the fact, or I mean, not UNSC, that 343 is underscoring the fact that, the insurrectionists is why the Spartan program was created. And it just so happened that the Spartan program
the Covenant
was in it.
Showed up.
Yeah, and then the Covenant showed up, and they're like, we have this weapon that we could throw at the Covenant that might have a better chance than ODSTs and regular Marines. And it was just fate. It was just blind luck that this was happening. And that's kind of the way Halsey was looking at it, as, hey, yeah, we were training these guys to kill humans, but thank God we had created them. Otherwise, we would have lost Earth really, really quickly in this battle. So,
yeah, I'm sure that's what Halsey was doing instead of like money.
Yeah, Halsey was creating the Spartan program with the specific intent of dealing with the insurrectionists, and it was going to be a very brutal way of dealing with the insurrectionists. I mean, it was almost like a Death Star kind of brutality. That, we are creating something that is going to be the ultimate power in the galaxy, and this is the only thing to do to deal with the insurrectionists. We have to crush them morally and just defeat them. Politics isn't going to work.
Yeah. So. All right. Backstory.
All
right. There's a couple more minutes. We'll get to it.
Once the insurrectionists took over, whole neighborhoods just got scooped up.
This went on for months.
Every day.
He talks about watching his community get torn apart slowly. Every day. I asked him about John.
Yeah. Him and his parents. John missed the first practice. And the last one.
What? You saying they got taken or they died?
I think that he was inferring that they were scooped up. They were abducted. I don't think he was saying that they're dead. But I like that statement that he made right there before you stopped it, that he missed the first practice and the last practice. What he was saying is that last practice that they had, that's the one that John wasn't there for, and that was the end of their practices.
Yeah.
So I would say, thus far, to me, it's sounding like John was abducted, along with his parents.
Yeah, or the clone just died.
I don't think the clone just died. I definitely don't get that impression. I get the impression by this story that John and his parents were abducted.
Yeah, John's clone and his parents.
Yeah, John 2.0.
Yeah, all right.
Back then, it seemed like everybody... Sorry.
No, it's fine. Take your time. It was hard watching Dion break down like this. He just looked defeated. These kinds of interviews are brutal. I wanted to comfort him, but it just felt condescending. Like I have any idea what it was like for him. So we were quiet for a bit. Before we ended, though, he said this.
I think that if anything good can be said to have come from all of this, it's that everyone who went through it can know that their struggle wasn't for nothing. When you have a young man who can rise up from something like this and do what John has done, he honors all of us.
Dion believed in John, the way the rest of us believe in the Master Chief. He made it seem like this tragedy that shaped him was almost necessary. I certainly felt like I had the proper beginnings to a hero's origin story. The story made sense. It felt right.
Okay, so he doesn't think John and his parents died. You're right. He just thinks they got taken. But this guy, like everyone else, believes in John. So apparently more people than we thought know that John is Master Chief?
Well, it sounds like, I mean, at the beginning of this, there was a statement that said that the UNSC released a statement after the glassing of Earth, the glassing of East Africa, that of John, because the glassing was contained to just East Africa. It didn't spread globally because of this hero. And I mean, even if the fact that the planet wasn't 100% glassed, I mean, the thought of losing millions, if not billions, of a population, just a small portion of a continent was destroyed, that it's going to be extremely demoralizing for the entire planet and the entire civilization of humankind. This is the most devastating blow that the Covenant could have ever made, even if they didn't achieve their goal of glassing the entire planet. So at the end of Halo 3, or excuse me, at the end of ODST, you get this feeling of almost hopelessness. You feel it in Reach, you feel it in Halo 2, kinda, but you definitely feel it in ODST, of this, like, man, there is nothing that we can do to stop the Covenant. The Covenant is going to win this war, and definitely, even with the loss of such a small portion of the Earth, the Earth was demoralized. The population of the UNSC was demoralized, so they would have to say, hey, yeah, we did lose, fucking 20% of the Earth population. But if it wasn't for this one man, it could have been a lot worse, because, at that point, you need a hero. I need a hero! You need those things.
To touch me.
Yeah, exactly. Something to the end of the night. And he's gotta be in green armor, and he's gotta be carrying a needler. You've gotta have that.
Yeah.
And you need that type of like person that you can set up on the mantle and say, this is the person that we believe in. If you look at World War II, we had General Patton, we had the Eisenhower. You had some these big war heroes that you have to look up to, and that's what we needed, and that's what that's what Earth needed at the time, at the end of the glassing. So I could see them releasing some information about John, but that's not something that's something that's new. That's not something that's really canon to my knowledge. They're kind of rewriting canon here, which is fine.
A little bit, yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that, especially John disappeared when he was 13. Well, according to the original lore, that within a few years or a few months even, this the clone would come down with some type of disease. So
yeah, I thought
they're rewriting.
I thought the way the lore was like the oldest one reached to like 15. Most of them died by like the age 9, but the clones lasted anywhere from like a couple of years to like 15, like I said, because they take them when they're 6, they replace them with a 6-year-old clone. And
you're right. But the children never reach adulthood.
No,
the children are the clones are meant to die as children to be able to sever the ties with the parents.
Yeah.
So these Spartans can't be connected back to who they were because of the sensitive nature of what they were doing.
I'm wondering if
it was ever.
Sorry to cut you off, but I'm wondering if Oni and ONSC just took an opportunity, and that his clone did die. But they just turned it and flipped it and went, here's where we can create and reveal, oh, John is still alive, even though his clone did die and his parents probably died. And they took it and flipped it and said, here's your hero. He came from where you guys came from. He went through he went to the prisoner of war camps and all that shit, and he came out alive, and you guys thought he was dead, but no, he's been kicking Covenant ass.
I mean, that's a plausible theory. But, I always interpreted it as, when they say that the clone would die, that the clone would die in such a way that it would be like a charity disease, where the kid has some type of like cancer where like everybody, passes around on Facebook and, for every share, Bill Gates donates $1 kind of thing. So everybody knows that, that everybody knows that this child is dead. So the child can't be connected back to.
That's why I was saying it's weird that his is the one that nobody knows died. His clone, I mean.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that he didn't die. I mean, some people don't know that he became Master Chief, but even the girl didn't say anything about him dying.
Right. Which tells me that he doesn't die. He might disappear, but he definitely doesn't die.
Yeah. Well, here is where we'll get to this part, which I'm confused on what to think.
Sometimes you have to go back, though. Look again, because maybe you'll see something small, out of place, That single thread. Later that evening, after my interview with Dion, I was pretty drained, so I spent some time sifting through a bunch of file boxes. I'd paid this scavenger in the outer colonies to dig around and send over any Elysium City documents she could find. The only local government records left were hard copies, but I took them anyway. I was sorting through a messy box of local census registries when I stumbled across John's name. One line, basic information, printed out in black and white. That's when I saw it. A single letter next to his name. D. I was staring at an official document that said quite plainly that in 2517, John died at 6 years old. Please join me for the next episode of Hunt the Truth.
Okay, I'm confused. John died, or his clone died, or his first clone died? Because everyone clearly said, and I'm assuming that that was his clone that everyone was talking about, at 13 boxing and everything. So what's with this document saying that John died at 6 years old?
I don't know.
I'm confused what to think.
That's really strange because we know that John was abducted when he was 6.
Yeah.
So, and his parents did not know. Like, we can't stress that enough. John's family did not know that John was abducted and they were given a clone.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those things that happened in the middle of the night kind of thing, and that there's paperwork showing that he's deceased. And I hate the fact that they chose the word dead, because dead isn't official.
Yeah, what does
I
that
could see
mean?
them using deceased would be official.
Well, D,
But
it
dead,
just says D on the paperwork. I'll upload the picture on the Facebook page, but it just says a D. D.
Yeah,
it could
and
be deceased, it could be dead, but
what I find interesting, though, is the other around it. I don't believe this is dead.
yeah, because there's like P's and there's I's and stuff, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell
there's
those
the
mean.
letter P, the letter P as in Papa, then there's a B as in boy, and an I as in insurrectionist.
Yeah.
And then there's the one, then only John's name has the D next to it. I do find it interesting, though, that they have his last name scribbled out.
Yeah, I thought
think
that
that's
was
something
weird,
that's
too.
quite interesting. That they're just not going to release what his last name was, and that's fine. I think that's totally cool. But I definitely don't believe that D stands for dead. I don't even believe that D stands for deceased. I think it's something more than that, because you can't sit there and tell me the story of like.
Maybe.
I'm sorry.
Maybe they rated the children by dick size. P was pencil.
D was like Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, and I was incredibly large.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't figure out what the letters meant. I was weird that Benjamin just jumped out and said, "Oh, the D means dead."
Yeah.
He acted like he knew what it meant.
P stands for pencil dick, and then B stands for boy dick, and I stands for.
I think there were some girls on the page though.
Yeah, and then there's one that stands for next to John with a D, and it says "Damn."
Damn, that's a big dick.
But I definitely do not believe that D stands for dead. I think that the reporter is jumping to conclusions.
Well, he acts like he knows what it means, though, because like he's had to have seen these paperworks before.
Well, not necessarily. This is local government census data. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have to conform to UNSC. Yeah. And there's no key or no legend on the paperwork that explains what that D stands for. So I don't think it stands for deceased. I think that we're going to find that he was wrong in that assumption.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
At least now.
That doesn't...
At least now. I mean, it as far as I'm concerned, it should say fucking deceased. But I mean, I hope they stick to the books and they keep the books in line with the game at least as best as possible.
Yeah.
But I just given the fact that you basically have John's life story up until he was 13, and then you're like, oh, but he died when he was 6. Like, no, you can't have both stories. I really hope they don't fuck this up.
I'm wondering what the letters are next to the D, because everyone has a C.
Yeah, everybody else has C's, P's, B's, or I's.
No, there's some other D's too. I mean, the letter, there's on the very bottom, there's a D. There's a Gillard Vagina, I think that's his name, says D. But there's a letter next to that you see on the right side of that that's all.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Has a C.
They're all C's.
And I don't know what that letter is. There's no, like you said, there's no legend above those. So you don't know what the D's, the C's, the P's. You don't know what either of those. There's identification numbers. You don't know if that's their social, their measurement in inches. That, like, you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
The numbers on the right make it look like they go in numerical order. All the other numbers the same number? In the third column?
I can't quite tell off my phone. I have to look at it for something else. But, yeah, I don't think it stands for deceased. I mean, given the fact that the amount of people that died from that was either A, died, or B, was abducted from Elysium City, I don't think this is deceased. Yeah. I think this goes a lot deeper than a fucking, D stands for dead. Oh, really? Brought to you by fucking dumbass Sesame Street. Yeah. Brought to you by the letters W, T, and F.
D stands for dad.
Yeah, D stands for dumbass. So
J stands for jump to conclusions.
Yeah, that's what I feel like he's doing. I think he's really jumping to conclusions.
Well, he's a reporter as well. He could, I mean, it's a fake reporter story, but 343 can do whatever the hell they want. Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna have to cover this, man. We're gonna have to wait a couple weeks somehow if we can. I hope the next episode's not that good.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I think that's a good. I mean, that's how long we've been going now. So
that's a good episode.
Yeah.
I want to know what you guys think. What the D means.
Yep. Let us know in the comment section if we have one. Do we have a comment section? Yeah, we probably do somewhere. There's a comment section somewhere for PixPod. Let us know.
Yeah.
We'll
you can
read
comment
it,
on the website, or you can comment. The best page for right now is just on the Facebook page, facebook.com/pigspod. Oh shit, I messed up.
What'd you mess up?
I froze your picture.
Oh, and I wasn't like slashing gang signs.
Yeah, there you go. But subscribe, blah blah blah. Do the iTunes, give us iTunes reviews, blah blah. All that shit. You know how it goes. You know what to do. Yep. Just like the Facebook page. That's all we care about.
Yeah, we really do. I really don't care about anything else, but that 75 and 100 likes is really important. So
yeah, because Q and I are getting the free stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're actually giving it to somebody else.
Yeah, somebody deserving.
Yeah. So I promise next week won't be about Halo again. Even though I assume that most people listening are into Halo, and I hope this is a good episode. Open their eyes, get that hype train going. I don't know if you can see it, John, but I made a picture of a hype train with Master Chief and Agent Locke driving it. It's the hype train.
That. It looks good.
Fucking Halo's coming back, dude. The hype is for real. I've never been more excited for Halo than I am right now. Oh, we didn't even talk about it. Let's talk about this real quick. Halo 3 Online, or just Halo Online, they announced, coming to Russia. And I found out why it's coming to Russia exclusively. Not exclusively forever, but at least the beta is to Russia. It's being made by a Russian developer. It's not even being made by 343. So that makes sense why it's a Russian beta.
Well, it looked good from what you had.
Yeah, I have a pre-alpha copy that a lot of American hackers somehow got a hold of, and they figured out how to load it up. You can't actually play multiplayer, but you can load the maps, you can do some stuff, and I'm working on some videos right now, and they should be out when this episode is out on iTunes. So if you want to check like Thursday, Friday, this weekend, I'll have some videos. You can see what Halo Online looks like, and it's badass. Just imagine Halo 3 with updated textures and skins and sprint.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fucking Halo 3 Guardian with sprint. The Pit with sprint.
The Pit with sprint would be almost game-breaking.
You think? No.
Oh, yeah.
No. Guardian
it
with sprint is game-breaking.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You can go across the map so fast now.
But it would be so much fun.
One of my favorite things is they remade maps, like turf, and now they have turf, which is from Halo 2. Now it's all winterized and icy. They have Avalanche from Halo 3, which was that huge snow map outside that wraps around like a big horseshoe, and there's a cave through the. They have that, but it's all melted down. It's a desert now. It's coming to PC, Q. There's already mods out. There's already people that have modded the alpha version. The game's not even out, and there's already mods. There's a dude.
Already fucking. That's why I love the PC community.
There's a dude that figured out how to replace pretty much everything in the game. He's got warthogs with like Scorpion and Wraith turrets instead of the Warthog turret, and it just fucking like when you shoot it, it just launches the Warthog like across the map. It's fucking sick. I'll put that up too. That's in my video that I'm making for kind of an introduction, but it's sweet. So Halo is coming back. The hype is real. They're fucking doing lots of good shit. They're trying to make a cool story. We don't know how well they're gonna do. They've got me interested right now. I think Q's interested. No, Q, stop snoring.
Nah, Q's really interested. He's having fun over here.
Yeah, he's drinking. Q's drunk. He's not drunk. Drunken Halo is drunk.
Woohoo!
I ride my bikes into trees.
I ride my bike into the tree sometimes, saying, "Ayo, learn to ride a bike."
I hate fucking noob combo.
Ayo.
Alright,
You
and
should
that's
play
it.
better.
We'll catch you guys next week. Every Tuesday for the live stream. Blah, blah, blah. Go to Facebook. Hit us up. Whatever. Bye, Q. I'll clear your history.
Clear history. Stephen Hawking.
Stephen
Bye,
Hawking rides the hype train. Get on the hype train. The Halo hype train. Bye, Q.
What's up? William Joseph here, and thank you so much for tuning in. You guys make sure to check out Lindsay Sterling's channel and also Devin Graham's channel. They're super, super talented people and just awesome to work with. Also, make sure you subscribe to WilliamJosephTV.com, and we will see you next time. Love ya.